Thank you for watching. This is Mature Living, and I'm Mary Yañez, Director of the Senior Adult Program here at the El Paso Community College. But as you know, we have great partners, education partners, and UTEP is one that we really treasure. And we want to explain to you today, not only does the community college offer the classes that we provide to this community, but UTEP also has, of course, the OLLI program, which is the Osher Lifelong Learning Institute. And so we've invited, as we normally do each beginning of the year or semester, we've invited Ian Wilson, who is the executive director, and also Susan Sobin, who helps out with the publicity and getting the word out. So thank you for being with us.
Thank you. We're very happy to be here.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah, it helps get the word out. You know, probably like you, we have a low budget for marketing, so this really helps.
It does, and that's
really
what Mature Living is for, and we're pleasing and educating, and I love this cover of yours in your catalog.
Well, thank you.
That says an oasis of learning. I love that.
Okay.
Tell me a little bit about the background of the program.
The OLLI program, OLLI stands for Osher Lifelong Learning Institute, and it's been a part of UTEP for about 28 years now. It used to be called Center for Lifelong Learning. Then around 1990, we received a grant from the Osher Foundation, and at that point we turned into the Osher Lifelong Learning Institute. It was a very sizable grant, and we live off that, the interest of that grant right now. Yes, but it's a program for anybody over the age of 50. It's a membership program. It's not free, but it's just about as close to free as you can possibly get. You pay a one-time membership of $25. Then you can get the catalogs, you get information, you get emails, you get a regular newsletter online about all the classes and programs that we offer. So we have 3 terms during the year. We have a spring term, a summer term, and a fall term. So we're getting ready now for our spring term. And I'll let Sue tell you a little bit about our spring term.
Right. Our registration is going to run January 9th through January 19th.
Okay.
And our classes will start on January 29th. We have 2 6-week sessions, so January 29th for 6 weeks, then a week break, and then 6 more weeks. I believe that starts March 29th.
Okay.
Is the second session.
March
19th.
March 19th. So,
Uh-huh.
so you have several sessions
Right.
We
during
do.
the semester.
Yeah,
Right.
and the enrollment fee would cover both sessions,
Oh.
so a total of 12 weeks. And students can take all the classes that they want to for that flat fee.
You're right about it. It's almost free.
Oh, I'm sorry, I can't get this thing to stop ringing.
Calling you?
I don't know what this is. Yeah.
They're already getting the word.
Yeah, they're calling up already.
And the enrollment fee includes parking in the Sun Bowl garage, which is right next to very close to our building.
Yes.
So that's an added advantage. We also issue an identity card, a student ID, which is good in the UTEP library. It's good for a discount on UTEP events. And many community venues also honor it. For example, the El Paso Playhouse, and I've used it for the El Paso Symphony as well.
Oh,
so it's a
nice.
real advantage.
It's
Really
a nice
good treat.
nice discount.
Yeah, very good discounts. Yes.
So when we plan for a session like this, the planning starts a couple of months ahead, and we have a number of instructors who submit class proposals. Our instructors either come from UTEP or they come from the community. They're people who have a passion in a particular area and like to teach. So a committee of members looks over all the class proposals and decides which classes fit for the term.
And of course, this is done 6 months, I mean, way in advance before these catalogs
Right. At least
come
4 months in advance.
Yeah.
We start the planning for it. We try as much as possible to provide the kinds of classes that our members have indicated that they want. So there are a number of classes that have seemed to have been going on forever and ever. Some of our art classes, the instructors develop a following, and the folks keep coming and going to those classes. And then every semester we also have a number of new classes that we teach. So it's an exciting program of lifelong learning.
Absolutely.
Which is good for your health, it's good for your mind, and it's good for your socialization as well.
Absolutely, and you do meet good friends in those classes with same interests, you know,
that's
with
true.
similar interests. So what are
That's
some of
true.
the classes that you want to highlight today? Of course, there's many that you probably won't get to mention, but definitely give us a preview.
Right, it'll give you an idea of the general themes that we offer. In art, we'll be doing 19th century Impressionism and the art of Japan. Those are just two of our art courses. And then, of course, we also have drawing and painting for hands-on art, and Rei Puhara, which is metal embossing. That's very popular. For body, mind, and spirit, we'll have yoga and Tai Chi, and also aromatherapy, which should be interesting. We're doing a computer section this time. If you can make a peanut butter sandwich, you can program a computer.
Oh
Now
my
that sounds
gosh.
good. That's for me.
What an analogy.
For culture, we'll do China yesterday, today, and tomorrow. And celebrations, Russian style. We have a Russian native who teaches our classes on Russian culture.
Natalia?
Natalia
That's Natalia,
Savchuk.
yeah.
Oh,
She's
yeah. I
excellent.
recommended her to go over there. And,
Yes.
Well,
and
we
teach-
thank you.
Yes, she's a wonderful, wonderful
She fits right in.
teacher.
She really does. Let's see now. Humanities, proverbial wisdom, theater appreciation, and before there was monotheism. So I imagine that would be Greek and Roman culture. Our languages this time, Italian, conversational Spanish, and a French cultural event for beginners.
Wow.
In literature, Shakespeare's As You Like It, and Tom Lee's Wonderful Country. In media, dark comedy and film, and Perfection in Hollywood, 1939 classics.
Wow.
Also in music, Copland and Mahler and great French composers.
Oh.
So we have
You
a
have
lot.
quite an array. What about registration? I want to make sure that they get this in there and then our contact information.
Okay, the surest way to register is just go the first day. That would be January 9th because we have quite a crowd. We're in Miners Hall, Suite 209 on the UTEP campus.
Okay.
And there's visitor parking in the Sun Bowl garage, like I said, just across the sidewalk.
And they pay their tuition there. They register for the classes there.
That's right.
Very nice.
Yeah, now they'll
And
also...
they meet all their friends
Oh,
Right,
yes,
right.
It's a reunion.
and make new friends.
It's a reunion.
Right, and they'll also be able to register by phone.
Okay.
And our phone number is 747-6280.
Very good.
And our office is staffed Monday through Friday, 1:30 to 4:30.
In the afternoons. You'll have to
Yes.
remember that.
That's
Right.
That's
And I don't think I've mentioned this yet, that we offer 2 classes a day. Each one is about an hour and a half and meets once per week. And we have some people that are there every day.
Oh, I'm sure. Last thoughts? The holidays are coming up. Gear up for January for first day of classes.
Well, actually, what's exciting is the first day of classes is January 29th, which is my birthday. So it's easy for me to remember. It's easy for me to remember.
Yes, yes. Happy
So,
birthday. Ian. Happy birthday in
Thank you.
advance.
Thank
And
you.
I'd like to mention our website where people can get a course list and program details. We're OLLI, O-L-L-I, OLLI at utep.org.
Very good. And happy birthday to you.
Thank you.
Coming up in January.
Thank you.
1 year older. 1 year,
1 year.
one day smarter.
One day smarter. That's right.
We'll see you all in class. And of course, our classes also start mid-January at the El Paso Community College. Registration is ongoing. We'll be off a couple of weeks for the holidays, but we'll be back. Well, we'll see you in a few minutes with more guests. Thank you for staying with us. We have a great interview coming up. You're going to learn a lot about how El Paso functions as far as when we were little kids in South El Paso, and how the Alumni Association of Aoy Elementary School is so active to help those children. And so we have invited the president of the Aoy Alumni Association, Margaro Gonzalez. Thank you, Margaro, for being
Thank you
with
for
us.
inviting us.
You're the president, so I'm sure you're really, really busy with what's coming up. And we'll talk about that,
Yes, ma'am.
that dance, huh?
Yes, yes.
Okay, and Ana, you're a member, has been a member. Ana Dominguez, I've known you for so long through Area Agency on Aging and through other organizations. But you're also active with the Aoy School. So let's get started. Aoy School has been, I think it celebrated 100 years.
125.
When? Oh my at? When did you, this year?
Well, it was 2 years ago, no?
Oh,
2 years
yes.
ago.
Tell me about the school. Where is it located?
Well, the school is located in South El Paso, Segundo Barrio, of course, and is down by Campbell and Kansas, in between Campbell and Kansas on 8th Street.
And what is the demographics of the children that go to school there, the elementary school?
It's well, it's low income low income families there, and the kids need a lot of help.
Yes.
Blankets, tennis shoes, uniforms. We buy books for them at through the school, so
Yes.
they can learn both languages, English and Spanish. Some of them can even speak English.
Yes, so they need a lot of encouragement, I'm sure.
Yes.
And Ana, you're going to talk a little bit about the Alumni Association, and when did it get started?
It actually started in November of 1991 as a result of the principal of the school wanting to celebrate the centennial existence of the school. And he put an ad in the newspaper asking for alumni to come forward. When the alumni came forward, they formed a Forms and Means Committee, and they saw the same needs that they had had as children now present in these children of Aoy. And so that gave rise to the formation of the Aoy Alumni Association, which by coincidence happens to be the only alumni association in the state of Texas and perhaps even in the nation for an elementary school.
Yes.
You know, and I've got to ask you, Margaro,
Yes.
Aoy, whose name is Aoy?
Yes.
Tell me about that.
Yeah.
Story about.
Well, Mr. Aoy Olivas was the one that originated the school
little school.
because of the children. At that time, they couldn't go to school if they didn't know any English. So they had to. He came up and provided the education for these kids so that they could learn the language, and then they can go to school. Mr. Aoy passed away, and the school, the El Paso Independent School District, found out that he was teaching the kids so they could go to school. So they named the school after him,
That's
after he
wonderful.
passed away.
It's a great tradition, and many of our professionals that are now in our age,
Yeah.
in our age group, went to school there. I didn't have the fortune to go there, but I know a lot of people that did go to school. Okay, now let's talk about, you talked a little bit about what you do for the kids. Let's talk about how you raise funds. And there's something coming up really important. I always go to this event. by
Right,
the
right.
way.
Well, the school, they needed our help. And then we decided to form a dance to get funds for the school. Children, of course. All the money that we collect goes to the school, goes to the children at Aoy. We buy, for example, tennis shoes,
that's
to all the school. We bought 4 computers. 1 year, we bought brand new computers. Okay, we bought uniforms for the kids. We buy clothes for the children.
Oh, that's
We
wonderful.
buy blankets. We buy eyeglasses. You name it. Whatever
Yeah.
the kid needs, we buy it.
So tell me about the tardeada. How do we get into that dance thing? Because I know that people in our age group pack those dances. Tell me about your dance. When is it going to be in?
Well, it's a very exciting event, and it's a wonderful way for anybody to go ahead and provide a really wonderful Valentine gift for their loved one, whether it's their parents or their spouses. And it's held at Almeida Shrine Almeida Shrine Hall, and it's going to be on Sunday, February the 11th, and it's
From 4 to 9.
From 4 to 9, it's a tardeada, and we start with an hour of mariachis, and then we continue with 4 hours of live music by Rhapsody.
Very popular.
Yes, the mariachi starts at 4 o'clock, and they during that time, it's only 1 hour of mariachi. Los Toritos.
Los Toritos,
Okay,
yes.
those
Very
Los
popular.
Toritos, very popular mariachi. And then we provide soft drinks, and we provide, you know, everything. And then everybody brings their own food, and everybody's sharing.
Yes.
And it's a beautiful, beautiful dance because the people makes it beautiful.
That's right.
Okay.
So how many do you expect each year?
Well,
And how much are the tickets too?
well, the tickets are $20 per person.
Very reasonable.
Very, very reasonable. And what was it? The question? I forgot.
Yeah, that's okay. The event, you know, it's going to take place.
Well, we're expecting about 600 people.
Oh my goodness.
Yes.
It's a sold-out event.
And usually it's a sold out.
But we need the help of everybody from El Paso to make it a sold-out event.
To continue.
And so we invite you to please come and share with us Valentine's and to have fun. And not only that, as a result of coming and attending, all of the good that is done for the children of Aoy.
That's right.
Yes, and it's a beautiful, beautiful dance.
Yes, and I'm sure you want to thank all your sponsors,
yes.
all your members, and everybody that helps to make this happen.
Yes.
And we are part of it, the ones that come and get those tickets. And if anybody wants tickets, by the way, where can they call?
They can call Margaro Gonzalez at 915-691-9394, or they can call several other.
They're at the bottom there. I
Yes.
think there's some other numbers we can put up on the screen.
Okay. Yes.
And it's a Sunday. It's going to be wonderful. I always try to attend because I want to support the children. Invite your friends. Get 10 tickets, and then make sure your friends, contribute.
Yes. Yeah.
To this
It's
event.
it's a table of 10 people.
Table of 10.
Table
That's
of
amazing.
10. They buy 10 tickets, and then everybody goes and they sit together, and they have a great time. You know.
How about your last thoughts, Ana, as a member?
Well, I'm a member because my mother is now over 100 years old, and my mother is the oldest member of the Aoy Alumni Association. And she went to the original building of Aoy. My thoughts are, help us to help the children, to enhance their education, to provide for their needs, to help build their self-esteem.
Yes.
Please be a part of it.
Absolutely.
You won't regret it.
And we have those phone numbers up on the screen. Margaro, thank you for coming as president.
Yes, thank you for inviting us again. And
Yes.
each year, you know, you're inviting.
That's
We're invited.
we're welcome,
and,
huh? That's it.
We love it.
Okay, thank you. And we'll be back with more Mature Living guests. I want to invite you to stick around because we have an interview. Bob Warach visited us recently, and we had a wonderful time talking about some planning for the Mature Living show. I hope you enjoy the interview. With me today is a co-host, a person you've seen on Mature Living over the years, Bob Warach. He's an attorney here in town. He's got his law practice, but he has a lot of fun here, and we can't seem to just get enough of Bob. So one day we were talking, and Bob had this great idea of doing a show, a round table, which he's just really good at as a host, to talk about El Paso's high schools and the way it was. Well, let's find out where that idea came from. Thank you, Bob, for being with us here today.
Thanks for having me again. And it really is the way it was. You know, I came to town. I'm from New Jersey.
Yeah.
I lived in a town that had about 100,000 people in it and had one high school. So everybody knew where you went to high school.
Yeah.
I come to town, and the first question new people ask me is, where'd you go to high school? I'm thinking, what are you talking about? And that tended to be a common question as I was integrating into the community here. Everybody would say, where'd you go to high school? Where'd you go to high school?
Only in El Paso.
Only in El Paso. I think only in El Paso, because it never happened to me before. And so I thought, it's called Mature Living. I'm a mature guy.
Yeah.
And I thought it'd be fun to get people from the different high schools in El Paso, from maybe, graduating 65 to 70, somewhere in there, and we'll kind of do the rival schools. I mean, we know what they were. And so the first ones we're going to do are going to be El Paso and Austin, and then we're going to do Jeff and Bowie. And we're going to have representatives from both of those schools.
Graduates?
Graduates,
Yeah.
but old-time graduates,
Okay,
graduates
yeah.
like from
60s,
my
70s,
era, to tell us what it was like I was teasing with you. They'll tell us who they found behind the bleachers.
Oh
and
my goodness. You're kissing behind the
That's-
bleachers.
just kissing or whatever they were
Smoochie,
doing.
Whatever they. There's a word "jañando" in Spanish, that we used in the olden days.
Which was what?
Jañando, kissing.
And then, back then, and again, even in Jersey, but what I hear even more is graduating from high school was really a big deal. I mean, graduating from high school
Yes.
at that time was kind of similar to graduating from college.
Yes.
A lot of
absolutely.
people had to drop out. A lot of people had to support their families. A lot of people went into the military.
Yes.
Unfortunately, a lot of people didn't come back. And even when if you look at some of the obituaries in the papers today, it'll tell you where they went to high school.
Yeah.
They could conceivably have a PhD. Nobody cares.
Yeah,
They
from
went-
Harvard or
right.
Notre Dame.
Where did you go to high
But
school?
but
and
it was
who
a-
were you friends with?
Yes.
And I have there's also what I've always thought was fun is how that sometimes you see it on television. They go, "What was the price of bread in 1972?" or "What was the price of a quart of milk?"
The tea dances.
And the
way
tea-
it was.
And the music. What was the popular music? What were the popular movies?
I don't think there's tea dances anymore. And they were all dancers. This generation in their 60s, 70s.
We're dancers, absolutely.
And it started in school.
Yep.
We were big jitterbug and
Yeah,
boogie
exactly.
dancers. And,
Now our knees don't
Yeah,
necessarily let us
yeah.
do that, but
Yeah.
there are a lot of websites that will tell you we can go look at, and when we have these people on, we could even play a little game. What was the most popular song when you were in high school? What was the most popular movie? What do you remember? And most
They
of-
were great days.
Weren't
they?
they?
Were wonderful
Well,
high school days.
what was it like here in El Paso in high school at that time?
At El Paso Tech, they even had a smoking area.
Did they really?
Yes, we had a smoking area.
I remember.
It's weird.
I remember driving into El Paso. I'd gone to San Antonio for law school, and I got a job out here. And I'm driving in, and I drove in. I thought, this is one of the most unique places I have ever seen, and it's just wonderful. The people are wonderful. The atmosphere is wonderful. The culture is wonderful, and all of this, I think, will come through with having these people who grew up here.
Yes.
And spent their teenage years here, even if they went away and then came back.
And you have some unique guests. As an example, you've confirmed some of your guests in
did.
the roundtable discussion. Who are the ones
Well,
that
one
you've got?
one of the fellows is named Jim Wofford, and he's an architect. Maybe retired, but I know that's what his job was.
And he graduated from
He graduated from El Paso.
El Paso High.
Paso High. From Austin High, we have a woman named Patsy Terraza Stallworth, who happened to mention to me on the phone that she met her husband in high school.
A lot of that.
And then we have Judge Eddie Gamboa. He's going to be from Jeff.
He's
And we're
a
still
Jeff
waiting.
graduate.
Still waiting for somebody from Bowie.
Yeah.
I have some contacts and some feelers out there. And then actually, hopefully people will see this, and from the other high schools,
Isleta.
Yes.
We've got Bel Air. We've got
Burgess,
Burgess,
Andrus, Irvin.
yes.
Yes.
Yeah, we can have a great fun thinking about how it was. Okay,
And
it
then-
isn't recent graduates. we
No,
can talk
these are
about.
not.
This
No,
is
these are
mature
not
living.
recent graduates. Which was kind of funny because when I was calling up the alumni associations to find out, I'm talking to people in their 20s and early 30s. I'm going, no, I don't want you.
You're too young.
Yes, we need people more my age. And then we were at dinner the other night, and it was at our house, and we had 3 other couples who didn't know each other. What was the first thing they asked each other? Where'd you go to high school? And yeah, we had somebody was from Austin, somebody was from Coronado, somebody was from El Paso. I mean, it was just fun.
And so you remembered this idea that you brought to me, and I said, let's do it.
And I think
This
if there's
is the reason why.
if there's a good response to this first program, then we're going to kind of want to do all the high
Great.
schools. So
Yeah, and I want you to do it because you're from New Jersey, you're an outsider, and you know the questions, you have this curiosity.
I do.
You have this curious mind.
I want to know what it was like growing up here. Although I don't want to be an outsider anymore. I've been here 45 years.
Oh, that's right,
I
you're
want to be
not.
an El Pasoan now.
yes.
But
You are an El
But
Paso.
growing up, I grew up on the East Coast. It was just totally different. I think it'll be fun.
It's going to be lots of fun, and you're going to make it
I hope
very
so.
interesting as the host of our roundtable of El Paso's high schools, the way it was.
The way it was.
Bob Warach, our mature living guest host that comes in and out every once in a while when I have a cold or when I'm out
I
of
love doing
town.
it, you
yeah,
know
yeah,
that.
you'll come in and sit on this
Yeah.
chair. But we're going to do a roundtable because this is going to be
It'll be
very
a
great
conversation, yeah.
Man, that's going to be so interesting. I really love the idea. I hope that all of you will watch. This is going to come in the new year,
Yep.
about January, February.
February, I think.
February. So be on the lookout. Thank you for being with us. Thank you for being with us and sticking.
I love it. You know that.
Yeah, being our partner here, and we really appreciate you, Bob. Thank you. It's hard to believe that December is here and that the new year, 2018, is just around the corner. We want to remind you that we're still registering students. We will be back opening on January the 4th, where we're taking the holiday break, and the classes will begin in mid-January for the Senior Adult Program. We also want to remind you that on February the 10th, which is a Saturday, the Seniors Love Conference is going to take place, which is a very popular event in the city, and many seniors attend. You call 831-7801 if you'd like some tickets. On behalf of the Senior Adult Program, EPCC TV, the technical staff, and our staff and our faculty, we want to wish everyone a very Merry Christmas and a very Happy New Year in 2018. And we'll see you all in January.